Good morning and welcome to Lawrenceford, stage 5 of the 2025 Absa Cape Epic. Always enjoyed when it gets to that point when you can go like 5. I don't know. It's like a little thing. I think my brain is broken from being on this race for 6 days now. The reports of torrential rain were overstated, I think it's fair to say. Staying in Stellenbosch last night, coming through to Somerset West. There is a lot more cloud cover on the Stellenbosch side. It is going to be wetter, but the ground is so dry. It has been such a dry January and February and into March, and obviously with the heat over the last couple of days as well. I think the earth has just soaked it all up. So there will be trails like Never Say Never Ender in Marathi. It's actually in Adcake, but it's just before Marathi on the route. That will be wetter than usual, but that's a good thing because otherwise it's going to be so dusty, and I think everybody's a little bit tired of inhaling dust into their nasal passages and lungs for the first 5 days of this event, of this edition. Racing wise, yesterday, stage 4, it kind of oscillates between stage 4 and stage 5 depending on which day is the Queen stage of the race. Sometimes we've had a Queen stage on the Thursday rather than the Friday, as was the case last year when they did that big day in Wellington. But this year, that stage 4 stage, kind of a reset. Everybody sort of taking stock a little bit and preparing for the big weekend to come and the Queen stage to come. So the men's race split and came back together. Eventually, group of 4 went to the line. Of course, the usual suspects, SRAM and Willier, Vittoria were there. Buff Megamo were there as well, and Imbuko ChemChamp. Once again, Tristan and Marco tried to lead it out for the sprint. Tristan got a flyer, went away with sort of 750, 500 meters to go. He crossed the line first, but then in the sprint behind, SRAM and Vittoria went head to head, and the Italians took it by a photo finish, or took it in a photo finish at the end. Buff Megamo were third, and Marco popped a little bit in that sprint. He ended up crossing the line, the fourth of the second teammates to cross the line, and so they were like 4 seconds back. A little bit of separation between Marco and the rest of that bunch there. But the good news for the South Africans there was that Kilometres Joubert, who are fourth on the GC and were 3 minutes 30 behind. Sorry, with 2:50 behind at the start of yesterday, are now 3:38. They finished 6th or 7th on the day, so they lost a little bit of time there. Firms up third for Imbuko, and I think they are kind of now in the situation where hopefully they don't have to make the racing. They really had to make the racing for the 2 days in pole. Hopefully they can be a little bit more passive in the earlier phases of the race today, and race it as it plays out rather than having to race from the front and burn matches at the front, and that can potentially set them up to actually go for a stage victory, because they clearly need to get away in order to win a stage. They're not gonna be able to beat Schurter and co in a sprint finish. There is always that thought, though, that the cross-country guys are going to fall away towards the end of the race. I think it's pretty well established now that Filipo Colombo is the strongest rider in the field. There's maybe an argument that Lucas Baum and Matt Beers could be stronger, or as strong at least, but we haven't been able to see that consistently. So I think Filipo gets the nod on that front here. The Italians said in an interview that they have seen some moments of weakness from Nino, but that he's been able to go so deep and just deeper than they thought possible when that has happened, and been able to bridge back across them, get back into it, stay in it. So it doesn't seem likely that Nino is going to fall off a cliff. That it's in Epic's past that has never happened. He is 38, turning 39 this year, but like still Nino, he's probably not going to fall off a cliff. So you can't see SRAM fading. So something else would have to happen. You don't want to wish that on anybody, but something else would have to happen for them to fall away. Willier, Vittoria, Luca, and Simone, if they are untested on this length of race. They've been good. They did look quite tired yesterday. Simone admitted to being quite tired, that he struggled a bit yesterday, but it could just be like that mental fatigue, that little bit of a switch off, a little bit of mental relaxation, and it'll be on again for the Queen stage. So I think today will probably give us an indication of if they will be able to maintain that second place and if there is an opportunity for Imbuko to make up a lot of time. Remember, Imbuko are 9:40 behind on the general classification, so it's a long way back. That's 9 minutes back on second as well. So first and second only separated by 43 seconds. So it's a long way for Imbuko to come back from if they are to move up in the general classification. Women's race. After the difficult day that Anneke Langvaart had on stage 3 with 2 crashes, she was clearly a little bit sore on the start, a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit more hesitant on the single tracks as well. They being Toyota Specialized, let Vera and Alexis Sakata go up the trail a little bit on the first single track climb yesterday, but then they've kind of proved over the race, whenever it's a Jeep track climb or an open climb, that they are just so much stronger than everybody else. They managed to ride back into it right away from them. It was close though, going over the top. Vera and Alexis closed it down a little bit on the single track descent back towards Fairview. So it was only 50 seconds in it yesterday, but that takes the overall lead for Anneke Langvaart and Sofia Gomez Villafan to 14 minutes something. Haley Preen and Bianca Hoare are third, but they're another 14 minutes back, basically off Vera. And they firmed up that position yesterday with a good result as well. It was good to see Cannondale ISB Sport coming back into it. Cannondale ISB are now fourth on the GC, but it's 14 minutes further back as well from them, from third to fourth. So again, it's sort of like crystallizing into something. But hopefully that Titan Racing, Safari Essence, Honeycomb team can do something over the next couple of days, even if it is just to get a second place on a stage. It would be very lekker for them. Just showing that like incremental gains in the race, and I think circumstances brought them together, but they've really proved to be a very good team, very dynamic team, and clearly enjoy racing together as well. The other story from the women's race, of course, is the beef between Sofia Gomez and everybody else, and her interviews are becoming increasingly frank, which is pretty funny. She does like calling the opposition out, and look for that to continue as well. And we'll maybe see if we can stoke some fires there and make things interesting for our own entertainment over the weekend. Hope you enjoy the show.
Right where we kind of started to fight a little bit for position, I think Vera was hurting a little bit, and Skarda put in a big attack that we didn't quite follow all the way. And Vera got dropped pretty good, and then we just saw our chance, and we're like, you know what, we'll just set our pace, but we're comfortable. If they catch us, they catch us, but they're going to have to do a lot of work to catch us.